Hello everyone, welcome to Abnormal Investigations. I've got another encounter for you, but before we get into that, I'd like to let y'all know that OCST is now going to be on in February, be the second Monday. We're going to have them on the show live. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to talk about some Oklahoma encounters, some Oklahoma history and cryptids. Oklahoma's a pretty hot spot, guys, and he investigates in Oklahoma also, so should be a very, very good show. We got Scott Carpenter coming up this Monday, guys. Make sure not to miss it. He's going to go over the DNA with us and let us know what they found and how it could not have been hoaxed. A lot of people said that it was a hoax, but he's going to explain to us how it could not have been faked. So that's going to be a very interesting interview, guys. I'm looking very forward to it. And the Jesus interview we just done was amazing. If you missed it, you're definitely going to want to see it. He has some amazing encounters. So check those out. And let's get into this one, guys. I'll never forget the terror my family and I experienced when we were stalked by a Bigfoot family on our rural farm. It was a nightmare that lasted for weeks, and one that I will never forget. My wife Mary and I had moved to the farm with our two children, Emily and James, seeking a quieter, more peaceful life. We had been warned about the wildlife in the area, but we never expected to encounter anything like what we did. The first sign of trouble came when our dog Max began barking frantically in the backyard. I got up to investigate, but as I approached the back door, I heard a loud thud, and Max's barking stopped abruptly. "Mary, I think something's wrong," I said to her. In my voice, I know she could hear the concern by the look in her face. Mary got up and followed me to the back door. We cautiously opened it, and we were met with an eerie silence. The only sound was the creaking of the trees in the wind. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the night air, followed by the sound of snapping branches and twigs. We exchanged nervous glances. Our hearts were racing with fear. Emily asked me, she said, "What is that?" And I could hear her trembling in her voice. And I told her, I said, "I don't know. But I think we should call the police," I replied, already dialing my phone. The police arrived about 20 minutes later, or I guess I should say the county sheriff, and we explained what had happened. However, to our surprise, the police officer seemed very skeptical. "I'm sure it's just a mountain lion," he said. "We've had reports of one in the area. It's probably just attacking your livestock." And I thought to myself, probably just attacking my livestock? We love our livestock. But we knew what we had heard, and it wasn't just a mountain lion. The sounds were too loud, too intense, and seemed to be coming from all directions. As the night wore on, we heard more strange noises, including footsteps crunching through the gravel outside our house. We barricaded ourselves inside, too afraid to even venture outside. The next morning, we discovered that several of our farm animals had been killed, including a cow and a few chickens. The police were called again, but the officer stuck to his story, insisting that it was just a mountain lion. We were frustrated and scared. We knew that we were under siege, but with the authorities not believing us, it didn't seem like there was much we could do. As the days went by, the strange occurrences continued. We would hear loud knocks on the walls and ceilings, and sometimes even saw shadowy figures lurking outside our windows. We tried to stay as calm as we could, and we also tried to stay strong. But the fear and the uncertainty, it was taking a toll on our mental health. We began to feel like we were living in a nightmare with no escape. We couldn't sleep normal times, afraid just to go to the bathroom or to get a drink of water. This was no life. This was a life of terror. We were being tormented and terrorized in our own home. I started to notice strange things around the farm, too. Tools would go missing, and food would disappear from the pantry. It was as if something was watching us, waiting for the moment to come into our home and to take food while we were outside working the farm. What kind of life is it to have to lock your doors when you're still on your property working the farm? One night I woke up to the sound of our barn door creaking open. I grabbed my flashlight and I crept outside to investigate. And that's when I saw it, a large hairy creature looming in the shadows. I did freeze, and my heart was racing with fear. The creature didn't seem to notice me at first, but then it did turn its head in our directions, and it saw us. I knew it saw us. I could tell by the way it tilted its head to the side. I turned and I ran back to the house, slamming the door shut behind me. I locked all the doors and windows, but I knew it wouldn't be enough to keep the creature out if he truly wanted in. This thing was huge. It was like a bull walking on two legs. We knew we had to get out of there, but we didn't know where to go. We felt trapped and alone and with no one to turn to. The police were laughing at us and skeptical. As the days turned into weeks, the occurrences escalated. We would hear the creature outside our house, pounding on the walls and roof. We would see it lurking in the shadows, watching us with an unnerving intensity. We were living in a state of constant fear, never knowing when the creature would strike next. We were prisoners in our own damn home, unable to escape the terror that these SOBs surrounded us with. One night we decided that we had enough. We packed our belongings and moved to Mary's sister's house in the city, leaving behind our farm and our livelihood. As we drove away from the farm, we felt a sense of relief wash over us, but also a sense of sadness of leaving everything we'd worked for. It was our dreams. We knew that we would never forget our terrifying encounter with the Bigfoot family, but we were also grateful, very grateful, to be safe. I'll never forget the fear that we experienced during those weeks. It was a fear like no other. We felt like we were the ones trapped in our own home. Looking back, I realized that we were lucky to have escaped with our lives. We had been living in denial, thinking that the strange occurrences were just our imagination, but deep down we knew that something was wrong. Something was very off. I'm not sure what happened to the Bigfoot family after we left. I hope that they didn't harm anyone else, but I do know that I'll never forget the encounter we had with them, and how happy I was to finally be out of there. We settled into our new life in the city, and we're just as happy now as we could ever be. Our dreams of living in the country are gone. But living in the stress and the chaos of the city life is fine with me. We used to couldn't wait to leave it, and now it's a sense of security. Even now, as I sit here writing this, I can feel the weight of those eyes upon me. I can sense the presence of something lurking just beyond the tree line, waiting for me to make a mistake or one of our children to be unattended. I'm sorry, but I feel we're safer in the city. And I feel, as the times are now, that it's going to become more and more worse to live outside of the city and in the country. After all, this is where they live. Very true. Yeah, getting out of there with your kids if you did not feel safe and you didn't feel like you could provide a safe home environment, or for your land and for your children, I think you've done the right thing by getting out of there. If you sold the land to somebody else, the house, or I would be upfront and honest with them and let them know so that they're not attacked or their children end up getting hurt or their livestock. So I think it would be, to be upfront. And a lot of people say, well, people won't buy it if you are, but you'll be surprised. There'll be a lot of people that will buy it just because of what you have happening that would love to study that place. So just glad y'all are safe. I'm glad y'all are happy in the city. I'm glad you're living your best life. And that's the most important thing, that everybody's safe. What do you all think? Do you think they done the right thing? Let me know in the comments. I look forward to it, guys. And until next time, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. And we'll see you on the next one. And also, check out our other channel. It's called AI Seeking the Truth. I'll put the link in the description of this video, guys. Trust me, you'll never forget the encounters that are over there. Thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, smash that like button and share us out.